Hi, today we are in Yellowknife to talk about opportunities in renewable energies. My guest is Andrew Stewart from NT Energy. Andrew, first of all, tell us a bit about NT Energy.
Thanks, JC. NT Energy is the business development arm for the NWT Hydro Corporation. We're a sister company to the Power Corporation. We do projects of interest to the government of the Northwest Territories, typically on the electricity side, and have looked at a host of opportunities and options across the territory.
Tell us a bit about the opportunities or the need for clean and affordable energy.
Well, I think if you were to canvass people in the territory, you'd see that energy is a really high priority. It's a high-cost issue for residents and businesses that operate here. So we're looking at any opportunities we have to make things more affordable, but also to have cleaner energy sources and renewable energy sources where possible. So,
do you have examples of projects or what's happening right now in the territories?
Sure. We've looked at a host of grid expansion opportunities to expand our hydro system, to tie those things together. We're also looking at spurs to diesel communities that are close to the existing hydro systems. LNG is one of the cleaner fossil fuels that we're looking to deploy for our road-connected thermal communities. In the more remote diesel communities, we tend to look to the specific region and the specific resources that exist there, whether it's hydro or wind. In the case of places like Berry Hill and Yellowknife and the Storm Hills in Inuvik, those are two candidate areas for potential wind development. Solar has been deployed successfully in Fort Simpson and Colville Lake, and we've got a hybrid project underway with a battery-driven solar and diesel hybrid system. That'll be the first of its kind in the territory at an industrial scale. So there's lots of opportunities to sort of displace and offset the use of diesel in those communities, and we're continuing to look to opportunities to do that. In the longer term, harnessing our hydro and taking advantage of some of those resources that are pretty much untapped as it stands today is certainly a priority. Hydro in the Lamart River is an area of interest. We've done some small-scale hydro projects. In the South Slave, we've got water monitoring engaging underway in Kikiza, and we'll be looking for the results of a report in the Satu region on the Bear River Hydro Project, which would be a small 1 megawatt sort of scale run-of-river project up there. So there's lots of opportunities, and we're certainly looking to support any initiatives that can bring cleaner and more affordable energy to the north. As well, for industry, we would love to see new industry emerge that can be done sustainably. Hydro could be part of a solution for some of our communities that are closer to the grid. And so we're always looking for ways to grow the economy, but also find renewable and sustainable ways to do that. So.
And how do investors or contractors that are interested in being part of this, how do they go about to being involved in this industry?
Well, I think it's important to stay apprised of what's happening. We've got some energy policy documents. The Power System Plan sets out a bit of a path forward for how we can introduce renewables and affordable energy across the north in each of our 5 regions across the territory. The Energy Action Plan speaks to the specific dollars that have been invested or will be invested by the GNWT to try and achieve those objectives. So that's a good place to see what the landscape looks like. In terms of actual projects, we're committed to doing RFP public competition processes that start at the pre-feasibility and conceptual level, and as these projects get momentum, then public RFPs will be issued for actual construction projects. And that can range from fairly short-term solar projects that can be installed very quickly to hydro development projects which can take 5 to 10 years to materialize. So there's great opportunities, and I think it's important for consultants in industry and business to be aware of some of the opportunities up here, for sure.
What are the things that people should be aware about, and what are the risks of doing business here that people should be aware about?
Well, I think one of the common problems that we have with projects that actually proceed to construction is the cost. the cost of remote construction in places that are far flung from airports and roads and general infrastructure and transmission and power that can be taken for granted in other parts of the country and certainly in North America. So it's important to have local context and understand what the human resources component will need to be, what labor and equipment needs you're going to have to basically service some pretty remote projects in many cases. And so having that local knowledge and being tied into the local business market here in the territory is probably a really important mechanism to make sure you know what you're getting into, for sure.
Great. Well, thanks for your time today. That was quite informative. And thank you. And we'll invite people to look at the DEC website to get more information.